Do you ever wish you could speak English with more confidence and sound natural, just like native speakers? Do you sometimes feel frustrated when you can't express your thoughts the way you want? If so, let me show you something that changed my life, a method called the shadowing technique. Welcome to this English learning video. Today you'll learn a simple yet powerful way to improve how you speak, listen, and understand English, just by using your own voice. So, what exactly is shadowing? Imagine listening to someone speak in English and repeating their words immediately, almost at the same time. You copy not only the words, but also the tone, the rhythm, and even the emotion. It's like becoming their reflection, their shadow. This practice trains your mouth, your ear, and your brain to work together. It helps you pronounce words clearly, understand speech faster, and feel more confident when you talk. In this lesson, I'll tell you a story that you can use to practice shadowing. All you need to do is listen carefully, pause the video after each sentence, and repeat out loud exactly as you heard it. Try to imitate the voice, the pace, and the feeling. Do this many times. The more you practice, the more fluent and natural your English will become. Are you ready to begin? Let's start our story. And remember to like this video and subscribe for more lessons that will help you grow every day. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 18 years old, and I live in Portland, Oregon. In every classroom, I always sit near the window, quiet, with my notebooks stacked neatly in front of me. I don't talk much, not because I'm shy, but because most days I'm simply exhausted. Life has been heavy for a while. My mom works at a small care center for elderly people, always coming home with tired eyes and sore hands. My dad used to be a construction worker, but after an accident 3 years ago, he couldn't continue. He spends most of his time fixing small things around the house or sitting by the window, lost in thought. Some days he's silent, some days he's angry. I try to understand him. He used to laugh a lot, lift me high on his shoulders, make pancakes on Sundays, but now the laughter in our home feels like a memory. At school, I'm invisible to most people. I wear the same old backpack every day, use secondhand notebooks, and take extra shifts at a grocery store after class. When I come home, I help my mom with dinner, do laundry, and study late into the night while the city outside falls asleep. That's my routine. But deep inside, I want something more. I want to become a doctor. It might sound impossible. No one in my family has ever gone to college. Some weeks we struggle to pay rent. There are nights when I stare at the ceiling, wondering if dreams are only for people who can afford them. But there's a voice inside me that never goes away, a quiet whisper saying, "Keep going." That voice was born years ago when my grandmother got sick with diabetes. One afternoon, when I was just 10, she collapsed in our kitchen. I was the only one home. My hands were shaking, but I called for help and stayed beside her, holding her hand until the ambulance came. Watching the paramedics work, I felt something awaken in me, a desire to understand how to heal, how to save lives, how to bring hope when everything seems lost. From that day, I promised myself I would learn how to do what they did. Years later, when I was walking home from school, I saw a colorful flyer taped to a bus stop. Weekend Medical Discovery Program, free for students. My heart skipped a beat. I took the paper, folded it, and ran home to show my mom. She was exhausted, her uniform still covered with dust, but when she read it, she smiled softly and said, "If it's free, go. You should see what your future looks like." That Saturday, we woke up early and took the bus to the city's public library where the class was held. There were about 12 students, some in bright clothes, some with tablets and fancy bags. I wore my brother's old sweater and sat quietly at the back. But when the instructor started talking about the human heart, how it pumps life into every cell, I forgot about my clothes, my worries, everything. I was fascinated. He showed us a model of the human body, plastic bones, rubber lungs, and demonstrated CPR. When it was my turn, my hands moved with certainty I didn't know I had. "Good rhythm," he said, watching me closely. "You've got a calm focus, Emily." It was the first real compliment I'd received in years, and it stayed with me. Before I left, he handed me a worn-out medical textbook. "Study this," he said. "It's challenging, but I think you'll understand more than you expect." That book became my treasure. I read a few pages every night, looking up words I didn't understand, underlining sentences until the pages turned soft. Then, one afternoon at the grocery store, something unforgettable happened. A customer, an older man, suddenly collapsed near the counter. People froze. Someone called emergency services, but I didn't wait. I checked his pulse. Nothing. Without thinking, I began CPR. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe. Again. After what felt like forever, he gasped and opened his eyes. He was alive. When the paramedics arrived, one of them asked, "Are you studying medicine?" I smiled and said, "Not yet," but deep down I knew I was meant to. The next week, the workshop teacher announced something incredible, a scholarship for one student to attend a summer medical program at Oregon Health and Science University. I stayed late every day, studied harder, asked more questions. When the teacher finally called my name, my heart stopped for a second. "Emily," he said, handing me a letter. "You earned it." I opened it with shaking hands and saw the words I had dreamed of, full scholarship awarded. When I showed my mom the letter, she hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe. "You're going to make it," she whispered. My dad stood behind her, quiet, but I saw something different in his eyes. Pride. For the first time in a long time, I believed we might all heal together. A few weeks later, I began preparing for the summer program. I had no proper clothes, no notebook, not even money for the bus. I didn't tell my mom. She already worked too much, so I went to see my boss, Mr. Williams, at the grocery store. He listened and smiled, then opened the register and handed me $80. "Consider this your first bonus," he said. "You've earned it." I nearly cried. It wasn't just about the money. It was someone believing in me. When the first day of training came, I stood in front of the hospital, my heart racing, the smell of sanitizer, the echo of footsteps, the distant sound of machines. It all felt overwhelming and magical at once. I stepped inside, determined not to turn back. There were 20 students in the program. Some wore expensive watches and spoke confidently, but that didn't intimidate me. Our instructor was Dr. Alvarez, young, brilliant, and full of kindness. She said, "To be a doctor, you don't need wealth. You need two things, discipline and compassion." I had both. We practiced first aid, learned how to take vital signs, and studied how every part of the body connects to life itself. Each time I placed a stethoscope on a patient simulator, I thought of my grandmother. I thought of the promise I made years ago. One afternoon, Dr. Alvarez gave us an assignment to follow a real doctor for one day and write about what we saw. I was assigned to the emergency department. The room was filled with chaos. A child with a high fever, a man clutching his chest, a young woman holding her broken arm. Then an ambulance arrived, bringing in a patient with no pulse. The doctors moved quickly. Chest compressions, oxygen, precise hands, calm voices. I stood at the corner, watching, frozen yet inspired. Minutes later, the monitor beeped. The patient was breathing again. Dr. Alvarez turned to me and asked, "Emily, what are you thinking right now?" I looked at the team, at the woman on the bed, at the life that had just been saved, and said, "This is what I want to do. I want to bring people back from the edge." She smiled, then never stopped learning. That night, I wrote every detail in my notebook. The smell of the room, the rush of adrenaline, the miracle of life returning. On the final day of the program, we all gathered in a small conference room. Each student received a certificate, but before we left, Dr. Alvarez announced one last award for outstanding growth, dedication, and compassion. She called my name. My classmates clapped as I walked forward, trembling. She handed me a small white coat with a name tag that read, "Emily Carter, future doctor." When I came home, my mom cried. My dad stood by the doorway, quiet, but his voice cracked when he said, "I'm proud of you." That night, my little brother touched the coat and asked, "Does this mean you're a doctor now?" I smiled. "Not yet," I said, "but someday." That coat still hangs on the back of my bedroom door. Every morning I look at it before school. It reminds me that dreams are built one step at a time, that I'm not just the quiet girl by the window anymore. I'm someone who dared to believe. And one day, when I walk through the hospital halls wearing a real doctor's coat, I'll think of this journey and whisper to my younger self, "You made it. Now it's your turn." Play this video again. Pause after each sentence and repeat exactly what you hear. Match the rhythm, the tone, and the feeling. That's the shadowing technique, a simple daily practice that can transform the way you speak English. Even 10 minutes a day can make a difference. Believe in your voice. Believe in yourself. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English stories and lessons. Your support means the world to us. See you next time, here on Learn English Journey.